here's all the bits we're going to be using for the E60 M5. Now, most of it is just this for a rod bearing job. So if you come in with a V10, M5, M6, this will be what we are using most of the time if an owner picks ACL bearings. If not, it'll be BMW bearings instead of this. But these are the Reedish custom mix set version that we do with a HHX blend, plus the BMW Conrod bolts, the oil filter, the sump gasket, CHF11S, oil filter housing because they leak, power steering fluid rings, and the pipe for the O-ring for the oil pickup pipe that goes into the pump. Then on top of that, most people opt for a Vanos pipe, which in this case, this owner absolutely needed, as we've seen in the video clips. It's got a leak there internally, which is why the engine management light was on, why it was in limp mode. It's internally leaking oil, not getting any oil pressure up to the Vanos unit. It should have 1000 PSI, and it's just dribbling back down to the sump. So new pipe there, that's the old one, that's the new one, which you must do the Vanos block filter, which is sandwiches. It's basically a seal which allows the Vanos pump to sit against the engine block, but it also acts as a filter as well. Then there's an O-ring for the top of there, high pressure sealing rings for the banjo bolts at top and bottom, and then some fan wiring clips because they tend to break when you're taking the fan systems out. Then on top of that, some people, if they have got their vehicles produced before December 2005, are going to need the oil pump chain guide upgrades. So these are the new guides that BMW do, replacement bushes, replacement guides. I think I've done a video on this, it might be on our YouTube channel. Seem to remember these are longer, but anyway, these are the upgraded number with the little spring bucket, springs different length as well from memory, and the little bucket as well for the spring locator. And then if you're also needing the upgrade kit for the helical gear set, this is what you're going to need. This is the Vanos high pressure gear wheel here, and that gets driven straight off the crank hub. Both of those are different. You can't buy the old versions anymore, they only give you the new versions. The old versions are quite shallow, as you've probably seen in the video that accompanies this one. These are the deeper engaging, sharper teeth, which obviously need to match to a different, it's not just a case of it being a new one, it's actually a different part number because the helical gear is cut in a different way. That's behind the vibration damper, so you need 4 new stretch bolts for the vibration damper, plus a new crank seal. And because it's a split bed design, you need the Drybond 1209 sealant from BMW, which goes in the little gaps between the bed plates and the block, and that's a little centering bolt for that part of the crank hub there. And then in this case, on this owner, has got a sump issue as well. So we're going to be doing, or hopefully, somebody's put a huge bolt in the sump. So they might have taken up too much material already. We'll see. But these are M12 by 1.5 time certs, far better than a helicoil. It's actually a solid piece of an insert rather than wire wound, which is what a helicoil is. And just in case you're wondering, we've got some pictures here of the special tooling. This is the seal cutting implement from BMW. That's the crank holder as well that holds everything steady. And then this is a nice tool which comes in and cuts the old crankshaft seal off and pulls it out gently from the aluminium engine block without causing any damage whatsoever. Very nice bit of kit. And that's all the parts there that we're going to be using on this BMW E60 M5.